Hey there, fellow wet shavers. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. Actually, I'm going to say tonight's video. In this video, I will be using Lothur Grooming Tears. And I will be using the matching splash tears, which I just recently received the splash on this. I'm going to be taking the Aylsworth Razor Drakkant on its last spin before this gets mailed off in the morning to Jeremy, the traveling shaver. I will link his channel in the description below if you are interested in checking out someone else's opinion of this razor. Look for it soon, I imagine, on his channel. And this razor did go on pre-sale. Today is Friday. Went on pre-sale today, so hopefully those of you that are interested were able to pick one up. Looks like you prepay, but it's 100% refundable if you change your mind. And they're going to ship out sometime in mid-May. The good news, I think, on this is that Caleb from Aylsworth has partnered with Yates Precision Manufacturing, a high-quality manufacturer in the USA, and they make some great razors both for Yates and also for the Wet Shaving Club. So in terms of quality of what you're getting, you know you're getting a super high-quality razor from a manufacturing standpoint. So anyways, if you're interested, I will link his website in the description below also, as well as Caleb's or Aylsworth Razor's Instagram. First, I guess I want to start off by saying I really messed up in my last video with Lothur. I used Calm, which is definitely one of my top scents of 2021. I think it was number 2 or number 3. I think number 2. But I don't know, that morning I was in a hurry. I looked up the scent notes and I had clicked on Tears, and I wrote down all the scent notes of Tears instead of Calm, and I read them off. So in my Calm soap video, I give you the scent notes actually of Tears. Now, the scent description that I have in there in terms of the notes and the praise I had for Tears still stands true, but the Calm is definitely a more lavender forward, kind of on a green base, definitely different than Tears, and I should have picked that up. So that just goes to show you kind of what kind of amateur hour I'm running here for a channel. So anyways, so tonight's shave is a little unusual, or today's shave, which is tonight's shave, is a little unusual because it is Friday night. It's like 9:30 at night. I think this is the first time I've ever done a night shave on the channel. I've never done a night shave video, and I can't even remember the last time I ever in my life shaved at night. I'm typically a morning shaver before work, but things have changed with work, as you may have seen on a previous video that I did. I'll get into that in a bit here. So we are shaving at night. Everyone else is asleep. They went to sleep early. I'm low battery there. So I am enjoying a Shaverage, which is the Weinhardt's root beer, and take a sip of that. So I'm gonna go to bed tonight smelling good. And I think my lighting changed maybe with my battery 20%. So we should be able to get the shave in though. So anyways, so I'm using a second use Astra Blue in this. So that is, for those of you that would like to see, this is the packaging, and this is the Astra Superior Stainless, and that's the blade. So if you saw any of my Drakkant videos, you will see that I had a Nasset blade in there the first 3 shaves. I changed the blade on the last shave. Turned out to be a good move, because at the last shave I got a flawless BBS shave. This razor is super, super efficient. So I think it's one of those where you got to get the angle right, but once you do, the razor will reward you with a very efficient, smooth shave. So I did use like a kind of a hot towel, wash rag, if you will, to kind of put it on my face before we started here, to kind of soften up the skin and the beard. So I'm gonna wet the face and actually get started here. So I apologize for that misinformation in that past video. No one picked it up in the comments, so maybe no one really noticed, but I realized it after I did the video, and I felt like something was off, and realized what it was. So I decided I'm going to use tears because I really am a huge fan of Lothur, and so I just realized I might have to throw my glasses on because I didn't put my contacts in today, and I'm not going to be able to see. And in fact, I'm going to grab them. I think I left them in here. There we go. So we will shave with these on. All right, so like I said, last time I got a really good shave with this. This is my last shave with it, so I want to make sure it's a good one. Normally I'm wearing contacts, but these are my glasses, so I can see much better in the mirror. But the notes on let's talk about Lothur. This is also the V1 base, which still works for me very well. I see personally not really any need for improvement, but there is a version 2 in all the newer soaps. And then these original scents have come out in a version 2 since then as well. But I'd say the scent strength on this is kind of maybe a 4-ish. So a little bit on the lower side, low side. So I really enjoy the density and the slickness of this soap. I mean, I don't know. To me, this is definitely one of my top bases for sure. I have not tried all the scents. I have tried many of them. I did not get Namka. I was a little hesitant on that one due to the described animalistic scent notes of the oud in that. That's typically not my scent profile. So I did not shave yesterday, so I'm actually working on, no, excuse me, I did shave yesterday. I take that back. I did shave yesterday, but so we're, more than 24 hours growth here, because yesterday I shaved, I'll say early afternoon. But I will go over the scent notes on this. This is more like a colonia type scent. So it's citrus, bergamot, lemon, mandarin with herbal notes, neroli blossom, lavender, jasmine on a musk accord. And I think the comments that I made in the last video being that this isn't overly citrusy. Some of the colonia scents that I've smelled are very, very lemon forward. This isn't as lemon forward, so we tone that down, which is really nice. And then sometimes with the neroli blossom, which is a white flower, you could get a little floraliness to it. So sometimes I either find they tend to be over lemony or over florally, and this is neither of those. So it's not very floral to my nose, and it's not super over the top citrusy or lemony. I think the citrus is nice and mellowed out a little bit. I don't really get a lot of herbal notes, and there's not a lot of musk. It's on a musk accord, but I don't get much musk out of it. So overall, it's a super nice scent in my opinion. It's probably, if I would have had my top 10 scents, I limited my scents to 1 scent per artisan, but this probably could have made my top 10 last year had I not limited it that way. So those of you that saw my video recently, things have changed quite a bit in my household over the last couple of weeks. So I am now technically unemployed. And I am actually, by education, I'm a pharmacist. and I had kind of worked my way up into management, and I was a vice president of pharmacy for a regional chain based in the Pacific Northwest. I've been there in that position for about 15 years. And I ran all of the pharmacies for the company in 3 different states. And pharmacy is a tough business. You might have seen a lot of consolidation in the industry, a lot of companies selling out to the larger national chains. And unfortunately, my company became the latest victim. So last summer, about 2 months after we broke ground on our new house, I found out the news that our board of directors and our C-level executives decided that pharmacy was no longer in the future of the company, and they had made a deal with one of the large national chains to purchase the pharmacy files and close all the pharmacies, and the company is remaining in business. So it's a bit of a surprise to me, even though pharmacy's been struggling and there's been a lot of consolidation in the industry. I think more than anything was the timing. I thought if anything, there was more time to be had there. And I really enjoyed the company. I really enjoyed the people I worked with. It was an employee-owned ESOP, which was very cool. So as an employee owner, I felt very vested in the company and the success of the company. But I guess nothing lasts forever. And so I found out the public announcement came out September 30th of last year. So I was retained to help the transition. So I was able to continue to get paid. And so the transition ended about 2 weeks ago. The final stores transition by the end of January. And so my position was no longer needed. And I knew a little bit before the public, obviously, just because of my position in the company and the fact that the company that was buying the files needed a lot of information regarding our pharmacies that I happen to have access to and possess. So as you can imagine, it was almost like building my own coffin over the last few months. So that has not been fun, but I maintained my professionalism and managed to get the transition done. In the meantime, I've been looking for positions. As I mentioned in previous videos, we are building a house here. And this is kind of where we've made our home. So I did interview for some jobs elsewhere. I think some of you may recall back in December. In fact, I did. I mentioned we went to North Carolina. I interviewed for a position out there. They flew my wife and I out for like a 4-day weekend. So we tried that. And anyways, but that just was too far and too far away from family and everything else. So I've been applying for other positions since then, and what I've been trying to target is things that are remote that I can do. And I've gotten pretty far in some interviews, but ultimately, I didn't really have any forthcoming offers that were attractive. So what my wife and I decided to do is, with the market disruption and the closure of our pharmacies, it's really left a void in a lot of markets. And so has left some opportunity. There's a community about 12, 15 miles just west of us that has a population and no longer has a single pharmacy. And those patients are being forced to travel into Eugene to get prescription services. And so I saw an opportunity there. We saw an opportunity there. And so came home one day and I told my wife, I said, hey, this might sound like a crazy idea, but what if we opened up our own pharmacy? And tried that. I figured if I'm gonna go back in the store and work as a pharmacist, I might as well do it for myself. And rather than go work for a large chain. And I felt there was a lot of communities that were very disadvantaged during this process and really lost access. And the pharmacies that are remaining, including the purchasers of the files, are having difficulty keeping up with the new volume, and patients are just bearing the brunt of that. And so to me, it's an opportunity for myself as well as an opportunity to help the community. And so my wife and I talked about it for a while, and at first it was like, well, you know, do we really want to do this? Can we make it work? And ultimately she was on board and supportive. She's got a background in healthcare. She's got a degree in public health, and she works in business development and marketing in healthcare. And so, so we decided to go for it. And so we're in the process of doing that. So technically I'm unemployed, but in reality, I am in the process of opening our own business. So I got a little bit of severance from my employer that'll tie us over for a little bit and help with the equity injection here to get things rolling. So we're pretty excited. We actually ended up bringing in a pharmacist friend of mine and his wife in the beginning. And so the four of us are the owners and we're running it. So we're all heavily involved in the operations. And so we're actually going to ultimately open up two within a couple of months of each other. And our goal is to just kind of grow our little company and kind of end up with multiple locations in the future. So let me rinse the face here. Take my glasses off. So our house is coming along. Hopefully we'll be done by the end of May, beginning of June. Our biggest issue right now is actually getting garage doors. Our builder had a project manager leave a while ago. We thought the garage doors were open or were ordered. And there's like this huge national shortage of garage doors. And so we actually have contemplated the fact that we may have to move into the house without garage doors and like have a carport. And I'm like, well, we got stuff that's gonna go in the garage. It can't be unsecured. So now we're like, okay, well, can we move that stuff in and just board the garages up and park in the driveway till we get doors? So hopefully they'll get it sorted out, but it's been a mess. I mean, who would have thought garage doors? I mean, there's been a lot of supply chain issues in the construction area, but garage doors, so crazy. All right, so Tears Splash. This is the first original version of the Splash. So there's a newer, I think it's called a classic version coming out. I think the change really has more to do with, speaking of supply chain issues, some of the ingredients in here that Johnny can no longer get. Wow, this just smells great. It really does. This is kind of a scent that's right up my alley. Yeah, this could have easily been in my top 10 last year. And the Splash has great, really great face feel. So hopefully the new classic version is just as good. My understanding is a little bit more alcohol. This does have small amount of denatured alcohol in it, but not a great deal. So, all right, so that's my last shave with the Drakkant. and I got another very nice shave. This is super, super efficient in my opinion for me. Probably one of the most efficient razors I've used. It's really been a great experience being able to have this in the pass around, but I do need to get it on to the next, to Jeremy, so he can then get it on, because there's several people on the list for the Passover. Like I said, pass around, there's 3 of these floating around, 2 in the US and 1 in Canada. So if you're so inclined and you're interested, I think it's reasonably priced for what you're getting in terms of a stainless steel razor. You can see the price on the pre-order if you're interested. I think the upside is you pay now and you'll get it sometime in May, but you can cancel at any time for a full refund. And I think he's even offering a 60-day money-back guarantee once you get the razor, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the case. So really enjoyed my time with this. Took me 4 shaves in and a blade change to really kind of tame this beast, but I was able to do that. So my advice is that, you just got to keep working with the razor and, try different blades. I tried it. So, I don't know if it's partly the soap base, because this is a super slick base to me, and the blade change and everything else. But at the end of the day, I did get 2 really fantastic shaves that are really super efficient out of it. So anyways, this video went long, so thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for listening to me rant and rave. Enjoyed the video, so we'll see you soon on the channel. Thanks for tuning in.